Alright boys and girls, I hope you're having a lovely day, okay? Today guys, I want to talk about the PlayStation 3, and what I want to talk about in specifics is why I love collecting for this system. I absolutely adore the PS3, okay? It's literally one of my favourite systems of all time. I'd probably say it's my second favourite console. I'd say that PS2 is my number one. The PS2 was like the first console I really truly fell in love with, so I don't think there's any topping the PS2, but the PS3 is certainly a close second. In terms of why I love this system, guys, it's very quite simple, okay? There's basically two reasons I love this console. One, the library is absolutely ridiculous, okay? There's so many great games on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 as well, because a lot of these games are cross-platform. And the second reason, guys, is it's so ridiculously cheap, okay? The PS3 has always been cheap ever since I've been collecting for it. When I got the PS3, it was very late into the actual cycle of the console, because I had the PS2 for a really long time, because I just could not afford the next generation. But when I finally did have enough money to get a PS3, all of the games were so cheap, okay? I'd walk into CEXs and HMVs and games, and you pick stuff up for like £2, £3, £4, and you were just swimming in amazing games for so cheap. Back in the day, I used to think that £10 for a game was expensive, okay, because that's how cheap the PS3 library was, okay? It was absolutely ridiculous, and I literally bought like 90% of the library. Obviously, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I've just played so many PS3 games because they were so cheap, and I just wanted to try everything. Now, what inspired this video in particular, guys, was a recent visit to my local CEX. I went to go watch Beetlejuice, the second one. Actually pretty good. I actually thought it was pretty decent. I didn't really expect it to be that great because I love the first Beetlejuice movie, but the second one wasn't bad. But whilst I was there, I had a quick pop into CEX. I wasn't in there long, okay, just a quick 5-minute visit, just see very briefly what they had. I didn't have long to look in there because obviously we needed to watch the movie. So yeah, I had a quick look, and I just naturally gravitated towards the PS3. I just always do. It's usually the first place I look, and I was just looking through the games, okay, and I've got most of the PS3 games at this point that I want, but you always find something that you're like, oh, I don't have that one, let me try that, okay? And I ended up picking up 3 games, okay, and I paid £10 for these 3 games, and I was like, this system is just so damn good. Like, what other console can you walk into CEX and pick up 3 decent games for a tenner? So yeah, I'll show you what I picked up then, boys, okay? So first of all, I've picked up this game here, Facebreaker. Never played this game before in my life. It's £1.50, as you can see, cheap as hell, okay? I like boxing games. It seems like a good arcade bit of fun. Is it going to be the best game ever? Probably not, but I bet you I get a good few hours out of that one. The next one I picked up here, guys, was Shell Shock 2 Blood Trails. I've never played the first one, so I don't know what that one's all about. I had a quick look at gameplay with this one because I've just known nothing about it, and it looks like a Vietnam zombie game, and I'm like, that just sounds cool as shit. So yeah, I figured I'd get that for just a £5. Looks really cool. I'm sure it's going to be good fun, so I'm looking forward to that. And the final game I picked up, guys, is a game that I have actually played before. I played it. It was a decent little game. It wasn't the best game ever, but it wasn't bad. I played and finished it and then traded it in, but I figured I kind of want to play it again. And that game is Body Count, just £3.50 for that one. Obviously, you can see from the back cover, first-person shooter. It's a pretty decent game. Like I said, it's nothing ridiculous, but it's just one of those fun little games, and for £3.50, you can't really complain. So yeah, overall, boys and girls, 3 games for just £10 on the PS3. You can't complain, okay? That is just so damn cheap, and like I said, that library is so stacked. And after I picked these games up, guys, I just figured I needed to make a video on just how amazing the PS3 library is, because it's just so cheap still. Like, there's some expensive games, yes. Quite recently, I picked up Splatterhouse, which was like £75. Not every single game is super cheap. There are some heavy hitters.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
But most of like the very best games on the system you could pick up for a couple of quid. Like, it's just such an amazing system if you want to operate on the cheap, and I like cheap, okay? I don't like spending crazy money on games, even though I do sometimes. I much prefer picking up the cheap stuff though, guys. If you can get a game for £1, £2, that shit is the best. So yeah, the way I'm gonna do this then, guys, okay, I've got like a big stack of games I kind of want to talk very briefly about. The first stack of games is games that I've played this year alone, okay? These are all games that I've mostly been replaying this year. I've played them before in the past, I wanted to revisit them, and I've done, you know, subsequent videos on them on the channel, but I kind of wanted to go through them again just very quickly because it just sort of goes to show how well the PS3 has aged, the fact that I've played all of these games this year and had such a good time with them. So the first game we've got here, boys, is Mirror's Edge for the PS3. I've not done a video on this game yet, but I'm working on it, okay? So there's going to be a Mirror's Edge video at some point. Absolutely amazing game, okay? I would recommend it fully, and I think you can pick this up for a couple of quid. In terms of the pricing of all of these, I don't really know exactly, but I'm 90% sure that everything here is £10 or less, so it's all super cheap. Next up, guys, we've got Max Payne 3. Oh my god, Max Payne 3 is such an amazing game. Okay, you have to play this game if you haven't already. I like the other two Max Payne games, but for me, Max Payne 3 is a masterpiece. This is my favorite in the series. Thoroughly recommend that one. Next up, we've got Ridge Racer 7. I talked about this one in a recent games I played. I love the Ridge Racer series, okay, and this game was absolutely fantastic. Super fun arcade racer. Then we've got Sonic Generations. I'm like very new into the Sonic stuff, and Sonic Generations is meant to be one of the better ones. It's sort of like a 2D and 3D Sonic, so I really enjoyed that. So if you're a Sonic fan, check that out. I think this is like £6, which is really cheap. Next up, we've got Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. Obviously, if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, you've probably played this one already. It's a lot of cutscenes with this one, okay? There's a lot of watching this game as opposed to playing it. When you do finally get to play the game, it's fantastic, and the cutscenes aren't exactly bad, but they do overdo it a little bit with MGS4, you know. So yeah, if you like your cutscenes, you'll like that one. Next up, we've got Aliens vs Predator. I think this game is super underrated, okay? You've got 3 different campaigns here. You've got the Alien, Predator, and the Human campaign, all 3 of which are really good, especially when you play as the Marines, okay? The Marine campaign is absolutely fantastic, okay? I think it's really well done. Predator 1 was super good as well, so yeah, if you like Aliens and Predators, you need to play that. This one here, boys, was a really sort of mixed experience, okay? And that is Burnout Paradise. When I started playing this game, I really wasn't into it. I was thinking, oh, I prefer Burnout 3, you know, I just really wasn't getting into it. But as I played it more and more, it really started to grow on me. I still prefer Burnout 3, obviously, but yeah, had a good time with that one in the end. Next up, we've got the Kane and Lynch games. Obviously, in the last video, we talked about these two, so I won't go on about them again, but especially Kane and Lynch 2, guys, you've got to play that one.
This is brilliant. But I like this.
And then we've got Dead to Rights Retribution. Not the greatest game in the world, but, you know, it's a decent bit of fun. It's one of those shut your brain off type games. I'm not sure about the price of this one. I think this one may have gone up in price. I picked this up for like £3 at a game shop, but I've got a feeling this one might be over £10. I'm not 100% sure, so yeah, this one might be a little bit expensive. I can't remember. Next up, we've got Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Again, I did a recent video on this one. Absolutely fantastic game, okay? I know nothing about Warhammer, but this game is fun as hell. And the final game I played recently, guys, was very recently. Not done a video on it yet, but it's coming very soon. Killzone 2. Oh my god, this game is absolutely just blockbuster fun, okay? I enjoyed the crap out of this one. So yeah, I'm working on a Killzone video at the minute, guys. I'll talk about this one in a bit more detail in that, but it is really good. So yeah, on the whole, guys, loads of amazing games there that have all aged super well, and you can pick up most of these games for super cheap. I mean, I think Killzone 2 is like £1 at CEX, and it's such a great game, so it just goes to show how good this library is at the price. Okay, guys, the next little pile of games I've got are all games that I've got on the PS4 instead of the PS3, but I kind of wanted to show them because I'm pretty sure most of these games are cheaper to buy on the PS3, but like significantly more so. So first of all, we've got the BioShock collection. I'm pretty sure you can pick up all 3 of the BioShock games for like £1 or something like that. I mean, I think the first one is like £2. Like, it's such a cheap series. I'm not sure how much this goes for on the PS4, but I know it's more expensive to buy this than it is to buy them separately on PS3, and they play very well on PS3, so you might as well get them on that console. Next up, we've got Sleeping Dogs. This game is way cheaper on the PS3. The reason I have the PS4 version is this does come with the DLC on the disc, and I do prefer to have it on the disc, so you will never lose it. Still, if you just want to play through the main story and stuff, Sleeping Dogs is an absolutely amazing game. You can get it on the PS3 for really cheap. And then we've got the Uncharted collection on PS4. I've got to be honest, I don't think this is actually that expensive, so it might be more expensive to buy them separately on PS3. I'm not 100% sure, but they are cheap as hell on PS3, so whichever way you decide to play it, you're going to be getting them pretty cheap. And then we've got the Batman Arkham collection. I love Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. They're 2 of my favorite games of all time, and both of which are mega cheap on PS3. The PS4 version is more expensive, I'm sure, so yeah, if you want to get these games, play them on whatever system, but if you want to save yourself some money, you might as well get the PS3 one. Next, we've got the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection. Same thing here, guys. I'm sounding like a broken record. You can get them cheaper on PS3. They're cheap as hell on PS3. Whichever way you decide to go, you're getting great games. But yeah, just again, if you want to save money, you might as well get those PS3 ones. Next, we've got the Bayonetta and Vanquish collection. Now, to be fair, I think this is worth having on the PS4 just for how awesome this steelbook is. This is one of the coolest looking steelbooks you can literally buy, so I won't blame you if you get the PS4 one. But yeah, again, both games on PS3, I'll say it once more, mega cheap. And then the final game, guys, God of War 3, okay? This game looks amazing on whatever console you play it on. You could play God of War 3 on a toaster and it will still look like one of the best games ever. And the game itself is absolutely incredible.
Zeus! Your son has returned. I bring the destruction of Olympus!
So yeah, that's all the PS4 versions of PS3 games I've got. Like I said, if you want to save money, just get the PS3 ones. And then my final little stash of games, guys, is just a pile of games that I think you guys should play, okay? They're all cheap. Every single one of these games, I'm pretty sure, is cheap, and they're just so good. So we'll start off then, boys, with the Resistance trilogy, okay? We got Resistance 1, 2, and 3. Now, out of all of them, my personal favorite was Resistance 2, but I have not played these games in a long time, and I'm itching to go back and play them. From memory though, all three of these games are absolutely fantastic, so play all three of them if you can, and again, mega cheap on those. Next we've got Stranglehold. Now this is actually a game that's a sequel to a movie called Hard Boiled, and that movie is absolutely freaking awesome.
It's fucking amazing.
So if you're into like John Woo movies, you need to play Stranglehold, okay? It's basically a Max Payne clone, but it's a bit more than that, because it's honestly super fun. Next up, guys, we've got Portal 2. Now, I'll be 100% honest with you, I don't actually know how much this goes for, but I'm pretty sure it's cheap. If it's not, it's still worth buying, okay? Because this is literally one of the best puzzle games of all time. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the price of that one, so I hope it's cheap, but I honestly don't know. This one here, guys, ridiculously underrated, okay? And that is Rage. I love this game, okay? If you're into like Mad Max and things like that, you need to check out Rage, because it's one of the coolest looking first-person shooters I've ever played. I loved this game back in the day. This next one here, guys, has got a remake, okay? But honestly, I do not think this game needs a remake at all. And that is Dead Space, guys, okay? I played this game last year on PS3. I've not bought the remake because I just don't see the point. This game has aged remarkably well. It doesn't need a remake. Maybe the remake makes it better and makes it look better and does some improvements, but this game's still fantastic on PS3, so I really don't see the point. Get it on PS3, it's dirt cheap on there, and it's so good. Next up, guys, we've got GTA 4. I honestly think this is probably the best GTA game ever. Maybe not my personal favourite. My personal favourite has got to be GTA 3, mainly for that nostalgia, but in terms of like what is the best packaged GTA game, what offers the most, I feel like GTA 4 is right up there. The story of this game is fantastic, the characters, Liberty City is stunning. It's just such an amazing game, okay? So GTA 4, check this game out. Next up, we've got another Rockstar game, and that is LA Noire. I think this game is £1.50. Just get this game, guys. It's a masterpiece of a game. The story is phenomenal, the gameplay is great, and it's just worth every penny of that. £1.50. That is ridiculous, man. That is what I'm talking about with the PS3. It's so cheap. Next up, guys, we've got an RPG, and I don't really play a lot of RPGs, but this RPG I really like, and that is Stealth Part: The Stick of Truth. One of the funniest games I've ever played. It is so good, okay? Play this game if you can get it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Poonlover. Get on up in the chair, and this won't take long at all.
This next one here, boys, the story is one of the best stories ever told in a video game. Mafia 2. I like the Mafia series, but Mafia 2 is the magnum opus, okay? This game, the story is just from start to finish such an amazing story. Speaking of great stories, guys, Red Dead Redemption, it doesn't need explaining, okay? It's got one of the best stories, it's got fantastic gameplay, and also Undead Nightmare as well is fantastic. So yeah, Red Dead Redemption, definitely check that out. This one here, platformer, one of my favorite platformers of all time, Rayman Origins. Absolutely stunning, okay? One of the most beautiful looking games I've ever played, and it's so fun, okay? This is probably my favorite Rayman game. I love the first one for the nostalgia, but this one, I come back to it quite often because it's really good. Next up, guys, we've got Infamous. I absolutely adore this game, and I really need to go ahead and play the second one. I've not done that yet. I played Second Son, and that was alright. I love the first one, but I need to play that second one. I don't know how I've not played that yet, but the first one is phenomenal, and my final game, guys, is actually fairly similar to Infamous, and that is Prototype, okay? This game is like a couple of pounds, and it's one of the most fun games ever. You go around, you mass murder people in the most brutal ways. It's just a classic PS3 game. You really can't go wrong with it. So yeah, that's just some of the games, guys, on the PS3 library that I think are worth checking out, okay? There's a lot of games on the PS3, and there's more games in my collection I could have talked about. I could have talked about every single game in my collection, and probably would have sung the praises of most of them. It's such an amazing library, okay? There's so many great great games, and best of all, they're so cheap, okay, and that's why I had to make this video. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, do you like the PS3, do you collect for it, and if so, what game should I check out, okay? Chances are I've probably played it, but let me know in the comments, okay, because there'll be some games I've never played. Other than that though, boys and girls, subscribe here if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Peace.